Hey everybody, welcome to the 1804 show, chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is another episode of 1804 History. Yeah, I was so tired, y'all. But I know I was supposed to have done this episode a couple times, but I was tired, man. I just be trying to get my rest or whatever, but um I'm doing this now before I go into work because this is really important because of what's going on now with Kyrie Irving and Ye. I will not say Kanye West, but I would say Ye. You know, just with the controversy in the media and stuff like that. And I think this was the perfect time to tell this story because nothing's new under the sun. And what we got to understand as black men is that they don't care about your beliefs. You still a nigga in America. You still a nigga to them. And you have to be willing to fight. You got to be willing to stand your ground, regardless of what consequences may have. And I just want Kyrie Irving to be strong. I want him to just realize that he ain't do anything wrong. He ain't saying anything wrong. His only crime is being a nigga in America, which we all have to suffer the consequences of being. It don't matter if you're rich or poor. Like they will discipline you. They will totally turn on you because of what you stand for. And I just remember this from the Ali movie, but they really didn't go into full details about it. But it was just like a short scene where he got drafted into the military because at that time in Vietnam, um, Vietnam War, um, they was losing, and people don't really talk about that. People make it seem like America won every war, like we was dominant and this and that, and every war known fashionable. But this time we was getting destroyed, we was getting demolished, and they issued that draft because they needed us. Just like the Civil War and this and that. When all fails, drop the niggas. You know what I'm saying? Make them fight and to test him because he was speaking out on a lot of things. He was speaking out about racism and injustice and white supremacy. So they drafted him to pretty much teach him a lesson, to send a message out that we own you. And at that time, he was 3 years in to the Nation of Islam, and they still was being disrespectful and calling him by his birth name, Cassius Clay. They still was not acknowledging him as Muhammad Ali. So when he was drafted into the United States Army, um, he had to meet up in Houston to face the draft board. And it's kind of similar to what's going on with Kanye now. because they refused to state his new legal name. His legal name is Jay. So they still calling him Kanye West. So it's kind of like the same comparison, if you ask me. But they always send one of us to do their dirty work. So they sent the black um, Ducty to make him stand forward. And he called him Cassius Clay. And he stood there and didn't move. And he called him Cassius Clay again. And he did not move. So then afterwards, he was like, maybe he didn't hear me. So he called him Cassius Clay again. So one of the drafters was like, hey, maybe Muhammad Ali. So he said, okay, Muhammad Ali. And he then stand forward. So he was arrested and tried for dodging the draft. And his trial wasn't even that long. It took a all-white jury to find him guilty. And he was sentenced to 5 years in prison and had to pay a $10,000 fine. But he was out on bail, so he was able to, do public speaking engagements and do interviews and do talk shows. And he quickly fought that appeal because he saw the hypocrisy. Like, how could y'all expect me to fight for a country that didn't fight for me? No Vietnamese people who ever called me nigga. Y'all my enemy. Y'all trying to lynch me. So what do I look like fighting for a country that don't fight for my people? So him and Dr. King was really trying to work together on the strength of, we gotta, prevent them from drafting us. So he was really working together with him, and he was ready to go down. Whatever it took, he was ready to give up everything. And sometimes it got to be like that because you got to believe in something. You got to stand your ground. You can't be scared to fight for what you believe. And that's what separates the real and from the fake is that, you know, people act like that they care. People act like that they want the betterment for our people and for people who don't have the influence, don't have the money to fight. It's just all about, sacrifice. And he sacrificed his wealth, he sacrificed his championship belt, and he sacrificed his prime years of boxing to take a stand against the establishment. And it's no different from what's going on today. And I'm just sick of apologizing or being a bigger person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if you are a grown man. Like, to them, just like the movie Ray, when Quincy Jones was like, man, in Mississippi, you a boy, even when you're 80 years old. They still think we children. Like, we supposed to just fold and bend and beg. He didn't do anything wrong. He just wasn't going against his religious beliefs. which I respect. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't agree that Muhammad Ali did, but if that wasn't heroic, I don't know what was. Because he said, I'm not going to be bombing or killing innocent people that never did anything to me. Like we gotta stop being their pawn. We gotta stop allowing them to take away our manhood. We have every right to refuse. We shouldn't have to be penalized for being men. We shouldn't have to apologize for saying how we feel because people are sensitive. People are butthurt about particular things. But we just have to be strong. We have to stand on our own 2 feet. You know, this is what happens when you get fame, you know. And then you have the late, great Jackie Robinson tearing him down. Like I said, they will use one of us to help with the destruction of the public opinion. You know, Jackie Robinson even said, "Oh, how could Cassius do this? He makes millions of dollars, but he can't fight for his country." Okay. Anyway, um, you know, all this is crazy. You know, hearing that from Jackie Robinson, who was the first person in a Major League Baseball to break the color barrier, but you went through hell every day. You went through getting concussions and being abused and being messed with, but you have the nerve to talk about Muhammad Ali. But I don't know. I just like I said, history always repeats itself, but they use different faces and use different names. So you just have to understand that this is nothing new under the sun. They use the same tactics, they use the same tricks, but you have to be smart in order to catch on to it. You know, you have to be strong because they're gonna talk, they gonna bash, they gonna hate, but you gotta be strong, you gotta be powerful, you gotta know who you are. That's the only way you will be able to prevail is knowing who you are. And this was 1967 America. So he said something that really like got to me when he said when he first won the Olympic gold medal and he was able to go home back to his hometown. And he went to the downtown area to a restaurant that didn't allow colors to eat in the restaurant to be served. So he thought because I'm a winner, I'm a Olympic gold medalist. So I'm gonna go downtown and eat. So you went downtown, you went to a restaurant that only served whites, and the waiter or the waitress said that what you doing here? We don't serve niggas here. And he said like, wow, even after winning a medal, even after winning #1 in the Olympics, I'm still a nigga to him. So he said that was the last time he wore his Olympic gold medal because he said this medal is useless. So, but yeah, he lost 5 years of his boxing career. He didn't return until he fought George Foreman. And he was broke, but luckily, a lot of his celebrity friends, including his opponent that he always fought, George. well, sorry, Joe Frazier helped out, gave him some money and stuff like that. But he had one hell of a comeback. Maybe if he didn't return um, at such a later time, he would have not gotten Parkinson's disease um, because boxing is a different sport compared to football and basketball. It's like the younger you are, the more great you are. But the older you are in boxing, it's really high risk repercussions behind that. So I think if he would have not been away from the ring for them being so petty, then he would have not gotten Parkinson's disease. So yeah, what's going on with you, bro? I'm gonna get at you later too. But yeah, like I said, this is nothing new under the sun. But yeah, they're just using different tactics and stuff like that. In this case, it was boxing, but now it's basketball, and now it's football, and we just have to create our own stuff, create our own leagues, create our own organizations, so this can't happen again, because this is happening again, and this is 56 years ago. This wasn't that long ago. Why y'all just now finding out about this stuff and really outraged? New. Y'all just late because y'all don't know things. But yeah, I respect Muhammad Ali for taking his stand against the United States military, taking a stand against the press, who didn't have to apologize for their comments and just really chastising him like he was a little ass kid. But none of them ever had to apologize. And they said some bold shit back in the 1960s, and they never had to apologize for what they said. So, you know what? Fuck them. But at the end of the day, either stand for something or fall for anything. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Gotta get ready for work. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for having me again. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel 1804 Show, Chapter 2. If you want to donate, my Cash App is $, the 1804 Show. Talk to y'all later. Peace.